Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2. Just realised I haven't done my sound setup today. No matter, I'm sure it'll sound fine. Hello and welcome to what should be the second episode of Gentleman's Craft. As you can probably see behind me, I'm not somewhere either terribly familiar. On the left hand side of the screen you'll see the cliff face that you know. So you're probably wondering what the hell I'm standing on. There was nothing here, there was a lot of trees around, and also what those random things in the background are over there somewhere. And how the hell I'm doing this as well. I'm still not used to try and control my character in this mode. This is Cam Studio, and this is what I am about to show you its full potential of, as I also go and explain what the hell I've been doing. Basically, and this is pretty cool, I wanted to build a house. And this is what I'm actually stood on. I'm actually stood on the roof. I made a nice little garden roof. It's lovely. However, there have been a lot of other things. The things in the background that you probably see, the other little structures in the background, those are actually... Oh, it's getting to night time. Those are actually a melon farm and a pumpkin farm. And so those are the three things that I need to explain having made, which I will do now. So basically the house, I wanted to use the Camera Studio mod to do like a sweeping thing with the camera and build the whole house in stages, and that was just so fun to do. I mean, trying to get the shots to sync up in the right way has been nothing but a pleasure. And I also now have to go and explain the melon pumpkin farms, which I will do right after I show you the fruits of my labour with the Camera Studio mod on making this house. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the music too. Hopefully I've picked out something very nice and funky. Okay, so in front of me are the melon and pumpkin farms. I've made it daytime to make it a little easier to explain this, and so that mobs don't randomly attack me. Rude! But I am now going to run over the design for these. I've actually basically just found a video on the internet that was just like, vanilla melon and pumpkin farm, completely 100% lossless. And I was like, great, that'll do, and just copied it. I don't need much, in fact, because this is for my personal use, and pretty much nobody's ever going to want to touch this. They'll probably want to grow their own. I've just left them running these very short stubs, and they look kind of nice. I think I might decorate them up or something. But I have 5 stacks and 16 of pumpkins. I've replaced some of the design with barrels, because this is modded, not just vanilla. And 1,700 pieces of melon slices, so 26 stacks plus 36, which is nice. I'm probably never going to use that because of the chicken farm I made, and I will get to that because I made some improvements. But basically the idea is that pistons will shove these, and when they get shoved by pistons, they basically break. At the moment they're disabled, I turn the whole system off. And when the pistons activate, the pumpkins break, or pumpkins or melons break, and they get shoved into a central water stream which runs from the very top to the very bottom. And at the bottom there are hoppers which then run into this barrel. And the redstone behind it's fairly simple. You just have a series of redstone torches climbing the whole thing. And if I just smart moving, there we go. As you can see here, there's a bit of redstone running off these torches into the pistons. It's extremely simple in terms of redstone. There's just some repeaters to get the signal to go in the block, because because of how this is set up. I'm sure you can make adjustments, like make this whole thing one taller or one shorter in this base area, and you wouldn't need these, because the torches would be, there would be a torch on the base level, and you could just run redstone into blah 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 blah, the usual crap. The point being is excellent. Now the thing that I've done to improve it is the original design had this redstone torch here, and this redstone torch ran into the front corner instead of the back corner, and there was like a button that you would press on this block here, and you would press the button and the whole thing would activate and stuff. Instead of doing that, because that's actually very inefficient for farming, I decided to set up a hopper clock. I think this is called a dual edge monostable circuit, although technically speaking the different edges of the dual edge are two separate outputs. So whether it's not like a dual rising edge monostable circuit or a falling edge, I don't know. Point being is, there are two sticky pistons trying to grab this redstone block, and in the hoppers is dirt that cycles back and forth. Now at the moment I've disabled the whole system because I've got that lever flicked on, which powers this redstone, powers this piston, and this piston never retracts. Normally what would happen is this hopper no longer has any dirt in it because it's all finished flowing into this hopper. This hopper can't make the dirt flow back because this redstone's on top of it. As soon as this one is empty, because all of it's flowing in one direction, this comparator will go, oh, there's nothing in there, and shuts off its own signal. When it shuts off its signal, this redstone is no longer powered, and this piston retracts, but because it's sticky, it pulls this redstone block, which then blocks this hopper from activating, because if a hopper receives a redstone signal, it can't export items, but this hopper will export items to the other one. Now, if that explanation seems a bit off to you, okay, don't worry about it. I'm sure there are plenty of people who've explained it way, way better. The point being is, it's the same circuit in mirror. The thing where I've adjusted it is once this has been built, this redstone is powering this piston. Technically speaking, this redstone's actually powering that thing, and this comparator is powering the piston through the block. That redstone has nothing to do with it, so you forgive me, whatever. Whenever this redstone unpowers, because this flicks off for a moment, so as soon as this, say this goes into the other state, this redstone would move over, this would unpower, because there would be nothing in this hopper, and this redstone signal would deactivate. However, it would only deactivate for a moment, because as soon as the redstone flows into this one, as soon as all the blocks have flown from this one into this one, the whole system resets, this goes back to this original position here, and this thing would only unpower for a brief moment as there is no dirt in it for a very, very small amount of time. This would mean that this piston here would unpower, would retract. This is a sticky piston as well, and any block will do. I just stuck dark oak planks because that's what I had on me. And because it's unpowered, no signal would flow. But as soon as it comes back on, there is enough time for this to power both the block and the redstone, and this piston has yet to extend. It takes a tick to extend. So this signal can pass through the wood block while this is retracted, and this repeater with a 4-tick delay powers in 1 tick but then unpowers 4 ticks later, which is just long enough to send a signal all the way around here, shut off this torch here, and set this whole thing in motion, which is what the button pulse would normally do, which is what the farm was originally designed to do. A button pulse would shut off the whole thing and every single torch would alternate. So there's a torch, and this block here underneath there's a torch that's currently on, but you can't actually see it. But say if I just do that, there's a torch that's on, and that torch is keeping it. That torch is off, so that'll be on. But if this were to flick off, this torch would come on, this torch would turn off, and these torches would turn on, which would power these pistons. But it would only happen for a short amount of time, about 4 ticks. So all the pistons pulse once and then retract, and it's just long enough to make sure that the whole farm does what it does. It's brilliant. I would love to do a build tutorial. I might actually do that because I quite enjoyed Redstone, vanilla Redstone, but really making these kind of contraptions but a million times more complicated is the real fun. But vanilla Redstone does make things very odd. So I realised I never really actually gave an explanation, an example, sorry, of this actually in operation. So I'm going to just flick this lever quickly. And that hopper clock now changes state. It's flowing in the other direction. And as soon as this is done, as soon as the blocks are done flowing from, dirt is done flowing from here to here, this should shut off for a moment and that should pulse. And Skype just went off. Wonderful. Hang on a second. Come on. Take your sweet time. Right, so soon we should see this pulse down and then pulse up again, and this will flick on. There you go! That's it activating, and then everything else, you could see here there was a lot more piston activity than just that. So all of these pistons pulsed, and these numbers should have just gone up. If we just go up and check, because everything was fully grown, because I'd had that shut off for ages now, we now have no melons in the farm, none at all. So the farms have just about worked. Good, good, yeah, so that's the idea behind it. There's the house that I was on about. Hopefully, just before I will have remembered to edit in the time-lapse. I've actually already edited the time-lapse together for its construction, but you know how things are. And at the moment, my smeltery has been moved from over there down to here because I want to use this other side of this staircase thing to build a kind of a small smeltery production. I'm going to keep it quite low, actually. I'm going to have a large area taken up by it. I want to keep it quite low because I don't want it to block the skyline. And basically, if I ever make anything quite tall, it will be further back. So I will effectively preserve the view. Now, I have a few ideas, making some docks, making other stuff around here. And now we need to head over to the chicken farm because I totally forgot I need to explain. Totally forgot. That's, I have way too much energy today. Anyway, the adjustments made here is I now have an ender chest. It's all on purple, which I had the fun fighting with it earlier because I put it down, put all the chicken in it, then realised I wanted to change its state, and I forgot about how ender chests work, so I pulled it up so that I could get at the the things you die on top, the key combination thing. Put it down, recoloured it, but I forgot to pull the chicken out, so it was still in the white dimension. Or white chest thing. As you'll notice, this is public as well, not private. So I put it down, and then I opened it up, and I was like, where's the chicken gone? Realised what I'd done, been a complete div, so I had to remake more purple dye, and I had to go get some bone meal as well to re-dye it white, grab the chicken out, and then re-dye it to purple once I'd grabbed the chicken. Anyway, this thing is producing massive amounts really, really well. I mean, look how much there is. Some people have even come by, so I'm actually missing a couple of stacks relatively recently. So this thing is producing a hell of a lot. I have a personal anger. I have not yet to use it because this thing's doing quite well, but if for whatever reason it decides to be a bit of an anus and I actually have an ender pearl to put in it, because making this and making that used up the grand total of 2 ender pearls I had, then I will see about powering on and leaving it running for a long time. As you'll notice, there's also another portal up on the hill. I have put down a shitload of asphalt. It's actually concrete, but Chisel 2 lets you change the texture. And there is the mine, which I also have another little time-lapse of me making. At this point, I'm still debating whether or not I include this in editing, so I don't know if it's made it in or not. I know that seems very unprofessional, but that's how things go at this stage. It's very early days, and I haven't planned out the entire episode in advance. I also randomly have an infernal princess from my trips to the Nether, through the Nether portal. I also noticed a severe lack of trees around, because I have been going ham with Jeff, who I made in the end, and it's a very, very good axe. I have had the pleasure of upgrading them. I didn't take myself through that process on camera, because I'm an idiot. I kind of got excited, carried away, and then after I was done, and I finally upgraded to Alamite, I gone, maybe I should have recorded that, and gone, basically just started swearing lots, because I'm a bit of a div. So that's, I think for the most part that's caught up on what I've changed. This original tunnel, the tunnel down here, that actually goes underneath the water, was dug out by Ortho, and leads directly to his place, but, so that's what I did this whole build on, and I frankly, I love it, because I'm very proud of how this tunnel turned out, actually. It looks very good. The whole roof thing going on here, just down, following the hillside, so it's nice and long, stained glass. I love stained glass, especially in Sfax. It is a very special place in my heart. Talking in a billion miles an hour. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out as well. I'm still debating whether or not cobblestone needs to go here, because it might interrupt this roof thing, and there's not really much cladding on the inside, and I don't know if I want to change the inside. Blah, blah, blah. Various minor design decisions I'm still debating over. Mobs are probably going to start invading my territory soon. I managed to torch up the whole place quite well, but I still don't have infinite torches. But because I have the gentleman pick, which I'm pretty sure I made last time, still got its iron binding and iron handle, iron pick handle, yeah, whatever. So it's the original thing. I also made Jeff, and the gentleman. Axe. Oh, okay. Yeah, at the moment I have extremely bad connection speed because I'm trying to upload the first episode as we speak. Now, the reason I have the farm shut off is because they've produced plenty and I don't really have a demand for them right now. I'm sure I could continue filling up barrels, but there's nothing foreseeable, so I will probably turn them on in a couple of days when I've got the ability to upgrade the barrels that they feed into. But for now, we have a nether portal, which I have, or we, sorry, have made a nice little network to connect to everyone's bases. Okay. And we're back here, loading back in, and I'm surprised it's loading in as fast as it is, considering I'm uploading. But, yeah, that's that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I've basically done nothing but talk for 20 minutes, and there's been a time-lapse. But you know what? Whatever works. I mean, this is a catch-up on what things have done, so we can get back to business. I mean, okay, this thing. Look, I have a 46.9 speed. Why is my skin dead again? For God's sake. Every time I go through the portal, my skin seems to die. I don't know why, it just seems to be a thing. Anyway, it's probably to do with my bad connection speed at the moment, but it's been doing it other times as well. So, I will probably edit down what I've been talking, but still it won't be a very short episode, and I still won't have achieved anything. But next time, look forward to me attempting to create a processing place for this. At the moment, I have like a furnace room in the building. I haven't even taken you through the building. What the hell? Some host I am. Some host I am. Slow, slow, slow. So I have, as you'll see in the time-lapse, I have some barrel storage, some crap there, and if you'll spot in the time-lapse, I made these rooms. And so I just have 8 furnaces and some tinker stuff at the moment. There's really not much going on around here. I have a bed on the next floor. If I just take you up, I have a little AFK hole, so I just stand in here. I won't get attacked by anything, and then when I'm ready to come out, I can just come out. Lovely little thing. And then we've got our bed. Just a lonely little bedroom. This whole floor I'm going to decorate lovely. It's going to be great. And done. I'm not sure what I'm going to stick on the next floor. This one here. I'm thinking like long-term storage stuff I don't need to access much, as well as maybe like displays. A kind of trophy room, if you will. And up here is my lovely garden. I only just put this path in recently. The actual time-lapse I filmed, filmed, whatever, yesterday, so this path wasn't here, but I actually think it looks kind of nice. I think I need one other kind of material that's similar to the gravel and cobble, and it'll look great. So we'll see about that, and maybe a chisel like the gravel or the cobble, I don't know which. And I put a melon here as well. So yeah, this is great. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.